Yo, what if she pops her own boobs?
What's happening?
Damn, bro.
Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ultimate Nintendo Iceberg. This video features...
Bro, this is 2 hours. Oh my God, Tainted. Bro. 2 hours? Yo. I'ma watch the first part. I'm watching the sky.
Features 200 different facts and stories.
We
about
watching
Nintendo.
the sky, right?
Starting
You see
off at
this
the
down
top
here,
of
the sky,
with stuff you might have heard of before.
Bro, this man. Oh
But
man.
as we get deeper,
all right,
the
let's
facts
watch
get
the
more
sky.
and more unknown until we get to the final section of the iceberg, which is absolutely unhinged. This video features everything from a Nintendo secret that was hidden for over 28 years, a third Mario brother, dozens of Nintendo's craziest controversies, and so much more. This is by far the biggest project we've ever undertaken, so a like and subscribe would be appreciated beyond words. And now let's jump into the first section of the iceberg, the sky. L is real. In Super Mario 64, the courtyard in Peach's castle has
L was 100% real.
this statue of a star. On its plaque is blurry text that many fans are convinced reads L is real 2401. Immediately, fans believed that L stood for Luigi, and Mario 64 players began trying to decipher this message to unlock Mario's famous brother. Players thought that collecting 2,401 coins would make Luigi appear, or that running around...
That's the type of high school, elementary school, pre-COVID, youth 2010 bullshit. Bro, people used to say the dumbest shit like that and people believed it because it was just like word of mouth. The internet wasn't like thriving at that time.
The statue that many times would unlock him, but no. Unfortunately, this plaque is just a generic asset Nintendo used. However, in...
No way, that same shit was in Ocarina of Time?
Unfortunately, this plaque is just a generic...
Oh, Megalo! That's like the tomb in that one graveyard. Giant Dead Dodongo. Oh my God.
Used. However, in 2020, Nintendo experienced a Giga leak that revealed tons of classified information. Among this data was a Super Mario 64 model for Luigi. The Giga leak dropped in July of 2020, exactly 24 years and 1 month after Super Mario 64's release. Turns out L was real 2401. DK Rap. One of the weirdest Nintendo published games ever is Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong's only 3D platformer is a bizarre title, and it only makes sense that when you boot up the game, you're introduced to the DK crew by the DK Rap.
Where's the beef stew alert retro?
Oh, I don't have one. You want me to make a beef stew alert? A beef stew alert? Damn. I might have to edit one then. I'm gonna have to edit one. Yo, Tainted, you showing too much love tonight, man. Thank you. Yo, I'm gonna have to do it. 1997, beef stew, 1997. I thought it was 1998. Lee here, performing for you.
This song
if you know the words,
bizarre.
you can join
by
in
Grant
too.
Kirkhope, the game's composer. This satirical, somewhat comedic rap has become infamous for its goofy lyrics and dubious quality. Kirkhope has come on record saying that he was not intending to make a serious rap, but that didn't stop his coworkers from making fun of him for the song, and Grant stated that his tombstone will read, "Here lies the body of Grant Kirkhope. He wrote the DK rap, may God have mercy on his soul." The DK rap was also featured in the Super Mario Bros. Movie as Donkey Kong's entrance theme. However, sadly, Kirkhope was not credited in the film, despite being the song's composer. My body is ready.
Nintendo grimy for that. They didn't even shout him out. They grimy for that.
It's E3 2007, and the DS and Wii systems are in full swing, selling incredibly. Nintendo announces release dates for Super Mario Galaxy and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. They announce Mario Kart Wii with the Wii Wheel, but showing off a new Smash Bros. 3D Mario or Mario Kart isn't that big of a deal.
Yo, this was a time. Right here, me rewatching the Brawl trailer, bro, this was a time.
But showing off
this shit right here, when the transformation happened from Melee to Brawl, I think it was. And then we saw like how the graphics just like
Smash Bros, 3D
oh
Mario,
man, and they got
Mario
like
Kart
realistic looking, man.
As Nintendo knows people will buy those games anyway. A demo is much more important for a super experimental title, something like Wii Fit. When demoing Wii Fit for the first time ever in E3 2007, Nintendo goes to show off the body check feature, calling onto the stage current president of Nintendo of America, Reggie
My body
Fils-Aimé.
is
he
ready.
delivers this now iconic line.
My body is ready.
My body is ready is etched into the Internet Hall of Fame and is one of the most recognizable and memeable quotes of Reggie's long-tenured career as Nintendo of America president.
I love that shit.
Peaches.
The fucking
Peaches
time.
is a song sung by Jack Black in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. This piano ballad was originally supposed to be a metal tune, which fits more with Black's own band, Tenacious D.
No, I am so glad that they didn't go with a metal song. I'm so glad that they went with a smooth, majestic piano. That's all that they needed. They didn't have to go crazy with like guitar and Princess Peach. They didn't have to do that. This, in my opinion, was perfect.
Regardless, the piano ballad was a massive success.
Yes,
reaching
it was a
position
masterpiece.
Number 56 on the Billboard Hot 100 and is even eligible for an Oscar nomination.
Wow.
Satoru Iwata. Satoru Iwata is
Rest
a
in
former
peace.
president of Nintendo. He was Nintendo's first president out of the Yamauchi family and was such a successful president because not only was he a gamer, he was also a programmer and a businessman.
On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer. But in my heart, I am a gamer.
Using
That's
those
why
three
he the
hallmarks,
man, bro.
pioneered
That's
the
why
Blue
he the
Ocean
man.
strategy,
He knew.
which helped Nintendo
He
achieve
knew.
record profits with both the Wii and DS systems. When the company wasn't doing as well, he halved his salary once in 2011 and again in 2014
He
to
halved
not
his
lower
salary?
employee morale by forcing anyone to get laid off. He left behind a legacy of Iwata Ask interviews and Nintendo Directs, revolutionizing the way the fans interacted with the company, and he was dedicated to making sure Nintendo fans got to play the best games possible all the way up until July 11th, 2015, when he passed away from a bile duct tumor.
Damn,
Nintendo
bro.
Direct. Nintendo Directs are just one of the things Iwata left behind, and these are presentations hosted by Nintendo where they deliver information about upcoming games, updates, and consoles directly to you. On Twitter, Nintendo Directs are claimed to be rumored very frequently. In fact, seemingly
Like every other week.
January, June, and September, new rumors crop up for Nintendo Directs. That's because they typically air around these months anyway, so many community members pretend to have insider information and make educated guesses on when the next presentations will be. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Sega does what Nintendo don't is an advertising slogan used by Sega in the 1990s. In North America, it changed to Genesis does what Nintendo don't to promote the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis in America. This line was everywhere in the early 1990s, including magazines and TV.
Bro, I gotta watch the commercials for this. Like, Michael Jackson was advertising for the Sega? Like, I know, like, he had, like, some influence with some of the Sonic songs, but just seeing Michael Jackson pop up and then I'm seeing, like, the Sega console, crazy. I gotta see these commercials.
Pokémon Go. Pokémon Go is a mobile game developed by Niantic.
Man, fuck Niantic. We don't like Niantic. Fuck them. Their choices are trash. They fucking up the game. That's why the game is at a steady downhill decline, bro. I hope that the whole game just falls under. You know why? Because they deserve it. Put back remote raid passes, you bitch.
That allows you to capture Pokemon in the real world. It launched on July 5th, 2016 and had crazy publicity right off the start. Immediately, Nintendo's stock...
I ain't gonna lie though, Pokemon Go in this time was peak, man. Being in Manhattan, being in those stampedes, stopping traffic, the police couldn't even stop us. Like the police cruisers didn't even know what the fuck to do. It's like 500 of us running with our phones like this, like, there's a Charizard, there's a Charizard. The cops are like, hey, get your ass out the street. Man, fuck this shit, man. I don't even know what to do. The cops didn't even know what to do in Manhattan. They were just like, bro, like, it's too many people. We don't know what to do. Perfect. It was such a good time, man.
Skyrocketed.
Such a good time. I'm so glad that I could say that I was there during that time.
A global phenomenon, controversy soon arose. A teenager in Wyoming stumbled across a dead body while searching for Pokemon near a lake mere days after the app launched, and Pokemon Go would somehow be used by both sides in the American 2016 election. TikTok songs. Countless Nintendo songs have experienced massive popularity on the app TikTok. Many Nintendo songs are catchy, nostalgic, and convey a certain emotion really well. This makes them prime to be included as trending sounds on the app, and we've seen examples of this such as Isle Delfino from Super Mario Sunshine, the Mii Channel theme from the Nintendo Wii.
Yes, the Mii Channel song is reused like crazy. Like absolute crazy.
And various remixes of Jump Up Superstar from Super Mario Odyssey. Funnily enough, there are many reports of people not understanding that these songs are originally from Nintendo games, which goes to show their ubiquitous nature. Koopa Troopa Dance. In the new Super Mario Bros. Games, Koopa Troopas will dance along to the music.
Yes, whenever it goes ba, ba, they do a little Yeah.
This became quite the meme on TikTok, as users began making fun of the fact that Koopas will dance no matter what situation they're in.
True.
Matt. In the Wii Sports series of games,
Yo, Matt was a horse.
To act as the CPUs. Matt is by far the most popular.
What the hell? Somebody played a sound? Anonymous. Oh my gosh, bro.
Notorious of these memes.
I was like, wait.
Being the champion in boxing, Matt is considered to be the best possible Mii. His reputation has arguably outgrown his actual skill, as while Matt is the champion in boxing, Matt is the 6th worst player in tennis and the 5th worst player in baseball. Despite being watched in the other sports, the fact that Matt is the champion in boxing has delivered him a reputation of being the most difficult CPU Mii in all of Nintendo's games.
Put some respect on Matt.
Power. From 1988.
Oh, man. I miss Nintendo Power. If they were to reboot this, bro, I'm buying all their magazines. All of them. All of them. But people, we're not in the age of magazines anymore. But a part of me deep down would definitely get this if they were to reboot it.
To 2012, Nintendo Power was a bi-monthly magazine sent out to Nintendo fans that featured news, facts, stories, and information.
Damn, bro,
on
I actually was one of their subscribers on this, man.
Nintendo Power was a massive success in the 90s, and chances are if you were a Nintendo fan back then, you were receiving this publication.
Yes,
Despite its success,
I ordered
its final issue came out in 2012, but the brand lives on as a podcast on Nintendo's YouTube channel.
Really?
Super Nintendo World. Super Nintendo World is a themed area at select Universal Studios parks. Currently, Super Nintendo World is open at Universal Studios Japan and Universal Studios Hollywood, with areas under construction in Singapore and Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort. Despite being named Super Nintendo World almost exclusively focuses on the Mario franchise, with its flagship ride being a Mario Kart attraction. Green Mario. On the Mario Bros. Arcade game, Nintendo had to work with a limited color palette due to technical limitations. Because of this, Nintendo took the colors from the Koopa enemy and recolored Mario to make Luigi. His iconic green outfit was born from a technical limitation, but that hasn't stopped Luigi from appearing in countless games since.
Damn.
Check Me Out channel. The Check Me Out channel was also known as the Mii Contest channel in Europe and Japan. This was a channel on the Nintendo Wii that allowed players to share their Miis and enter them into popularity contests. Players could then rank other Miis and even take pictures.
I remember this. I remember this, dude. This was so funny because you used to find the craziest looking designs
with them. The Check Me Out channel was one of the most popular Wii channels until it was discontinued in 2013.
Man.
We Would Like to Play. We Would Like to Play was an advertising campaign showing two Japanese businessmen with a Wiimote stating,
"We would like to play."
I remember this. I remember this.
These commercials were directed by Stephen Goggin, who's an Academy Award-winning director. Despite being slightly off-putting, these commercials were a massive success and no doubt sold countless Wii units. Joy-Con drift. The Joy-Con controllers for the Nintendo Switch system have a serious defect. Their analog sticks frequently drift or detect false inputs in one direction, even when not being touched. This can result in your camera slightly moving one direction, a character slowly walking into the distance, or
somebody's gonna have to let me know what replacement Joy-Cons, like the piece, Because I might have to replace some of these shits.
Inputs in a game such as Super Smash Bros. Nintendo has experienced
I'm not buying new Joy-Cons. I'd rather replace them.
And offers
I'd rather
a free
replace the
repair
joysticks
program where you can send in your controllers to be fixed, but there are multiple.
Cap, I did this with my Splatoon controller. I sent it out to them, and guess what? They sent it back to me completely unfixed. They didn't even fix it. They said, oh, we didn't see no issues with your controller. And I specifically told them, yo, my joystick, whenever I'm holding up, there's drift. They literally, and the worst part is that I waited like 3 weeks. Like I sent it out, waited a couple weeks, I got it back just to get a controller that doesn't even fucking still work. I have it upstairs. It's fucking chilling. I'm pissed.
Multiple reports of quote-unquote fixed controllers regaining Joy-Con drift later on. Super Mario Bros. Movie casting. In January of 2018, Nintendo announced that a Super Mario Bros. Movie from Illumination Entertainment was under development. However, it took almost 4 years for us to finally learn who would be voicing these iconic characters. What followed was absolute madness, as on September 23rd, 2021, during a Nintendo Direct, the internet lost their collective minds as we learned about Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Seth Rogen, Jack Black, and all the hilarity that would ensue from such a bizarre, out-of-left-field voice cast. Wiimotes crashing into TV. You know that little wrist strap at the bottom of the Wii remote? That is made so that this doesn't happen. When the Wii came out, it was a massive success, and a lot of people who had never touched video games before were picking up these consoles.
Yo, I remember when this was such an issue, bro. This was like one of the most annoying things ever. Even me as a child, when I got the Wii and I started hearing stories about that, I'm like, how are people this stupid to make this mistake? It literally comes with a Wii strap. It comes up to the strap. You said skip to the fucked up stuff? No!
Because of that, a lot of people seemingly didn't understand that you had to hold on to the controller as you were swinging it around playing Wii Sports.
Yo, this time frame was really that time frame where you got to see who was the smart ones and who were the fucking idiots. The one who threw the controllers were the fucking idiots, bro. I don't care. I don't care. It's not that hard. It even came with a strap. The controllers came with straps. Like, people legit chucking these shits at their TV, bro. Like, nah, bro. There was something wrong with you.
Sports.
There was something wrong with you, bro.
In thousands of TVs getting smashed.
That's crazy.
As Wii remotes were sent hurling at them at high velocity. There are countless Wii remote crashing into.
Yo, there were full-blown adults doing this shit. Adults!
TV compilations on YouTube, and in March of 2008, Panasonic even made a reinforced range of LCD TVs with tougher glass to protect against airborne Nintendo Wiimotes flying off into the TVs. Pokémon cards. Pokémon cards have experienced a massive resurgence in collecting, sale price, and value thanks to many factors. Public figures such as Logan Paul have been pointed out as reasons driving up the price of these collectible pieces of paper. The most expensive of these cards being a PSA 10 Pikachu illustrator, supposedly paid for by Logan Paul at a valuation of $5.275 million.
Wow.
Calculator. Gunpei Yokoi started his tenure at Nintendo not as
who the hell is this? This is a whole new person.
When president of Nintendo Hiroshi Yamauchi noticed that Yokoi had made an
oh, we passed the first part. You know what? I don't like this guy's voice, but you know what? I'm gonna let it rock just for a tiny bit, just a tiny bit.
Extendable arm toy in his spare time at work.
Like, the first guy had a good microphone.
Characters. What followed was
not really. He had a super echoey room, but I mean, like, the mic was fine.
Absolute madness. As on September 23rd,
Calculator. Gunpei Yokoi started his tenure.
Yo, my man's talking out of a calculator for real.
You're at Nintendo not as a game designer, but as an electrician. When president of Nintendo Hiroshi Yamauchi noticed that Yokoi had made an extendable arm toy in his spare time at work, he was ordered to make it into a proper product, which would go on to be one of Nintendo's most successful toys at the time, the Ultra Hand. This success slingshotted Yokoi to become one of the most influential minds at Nintendo, working on big projects like the original Donkey Kong, Mario Bros, and Metroid. But what he's probably most well known for is the Game Boy. It is said he came up with the idea for the Game Boy while on a train where he saw a tired businessman playing on his calculator. Tug of War. The N64.
How do you even play on your calculator? All you could do is just like type funny words and boobs. Yo, you motherfuckers in the chat would never know about this shit. Walking into like Walmarts and like Sears, JC Penney's, and then like they got the big ass TV there, and you have to like hold the controller and look the fuck up. You're like, you're playing a game like, oh my god, dude.
64 is known for many things.
Yo.
The birth of 3D gaming, the rise of multiplayer party.
You said we do?
Super Smash
No, you
Brothers.
don't. Nova Moon, I know how old are you? You're 12. Grant Gonzalo, you are definitely 15. I know how old you are. I know you are. You know how I know? You know how I know? I got y'all right now. Give me 1 second. I'm about to pull up y'all IP address. Hold up. 192.168.1.34. You said, sir, I'm 24? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Afro 16, call him out too. Afro 16?
Mario Kart. But if there's one thing it's
My favorite commercial was the Smash Brothers commercial. This, peak.
most famous for, it's for this three-handed
Says the child with no beard.
controller. See,
You got
not
me.
only was the N64
You got
the
me.
first
You
controller
got me.
made for aliens,
You
but it was
got me.
also the first Nintendo
Give me 2 weeks.
controller to introduce a control stick. Because of its novelty, many players found creative ways to spin the control stick in the Mario Party minigame Tug of War. The goal of the game was to spin your stick in a
This
circle
game
as
gave me
fast as you could
blisters.
to beat your opponent. However, players figured out that spinning it with the palm of your hand rather than your thumb was actually faster. This led to many blisters. And
Yo,
Nintendo
literally.
was actually sued by over 90 families and was issued to pay over $80 million worth of protection.
Where's my money? Nah, where's my money? Ain't no way, bro. Yo, I really missed out on that bag. Yo, I used to get super blisters off of that, man. And you know what's the worst part, chat? That blister thing with that minigame didn't happen to me once. It happened to me like 2-3 times. Because guess what? As a kid, you can't just... Look, as a kid, games weren't coming out that frequently. So all you can do realistically is play the game, and when you're done, guess what? Later on, you got to replay the game again. And then guess what? Every time we ran across that minigame, you know what I started doing instead? I started to put my t-shirt over the joystick. I put my t-shirt over it, and then I still went like this to spin the joystick. Guess what? I still got blisters. Yo, because the friction.
Mew truck.
The friction.
Mew under the truck was a classic schoolyard rumor that the mythical Pokemon Mew could actually be obtained under a truck near the SS Anne. This rumor probably spawned by just how cumbersome and stupid this patch of grass is that holds
The fact
this
that
truck.
Nintendo
Like, why
brought
is it
back
even
this
coded
very
into the
minigame
game?
for
It must have
Superstars and
some
first Mario
significance.
Party
To get there,
game
you
on
have to
Switch
have a Pokemon
Online,
that knows
they
surf.
didn't
But
learn
wait,
their
you
lesson,
don't learn
Cat.
surf until after you board the SS Anne. How are you supposed to surf around
Thank you,
the
Grand.
SS Anne when you're only able to enter the SS Anne once?
Yo,
That's
and they
why
did
this
bring back that
rumor
minigame
became
with
so
Superstars.
juicy.
You know why they brought it back? Because the joysticks are better. They have the rubber gripping. You got to remember, like, the N64 was just straight plastic. There was no rubber.
It was an area just out of reach, with a logical solution and reward. But alas, after going through all of the trouble of trading in a Pokemon with Surf earlier into the game, or whiting out inside the SSN after you got Surf, nothing waits for you on Truck Island except, well, the truck. New funky
Here's a
mode.
shorter
Since
one.
the dawn of the
Double
Switch,
Link.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Taker, we in the middle of watching this. Bro.
Urban legend.
Oh, hell no.
hoaxes,
No, Taker, no. No.
rumors.
No.
A mainstay on this channel at this point. It's no secret that I love to
Yo.
discuss myths
Yo,
in
fuck it,
basically
bro.
any
Fuck
way,
it.
shape, or form.
Fuck it, bro.
From Grand Theft Auto rumors
Fuck it.
to all-around video
What's the life you chose?
and even fake lives.
Genesis,
I've
Chapter 1.
dedicated quite a few Iceberg videos to looking into these very topics, and today we're going to do something similar. Instead, this time though, we're
created the
looking
heaven
at
and the
just
earth,
urban legends
and the
and
earth
myths
was without
on
form
TV,
and
kind of
void,
similar to the
and
video
darkness
we
was
did
upon the
on
face of the deep,
conspiracy theories,
really just
but
and the
means
Spirit
you
of
could
God
play
moved
as
Yeah.
upon the
those
face of the
live
waters.
action,
Uh-huh.
And God said,
"Let
there be light.
Let there be light.
And there was light. And God saw the light that it was
Yeah.
good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
Yeah.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Yeah.
And
Donkey
God
Kong.
said,
Let there be a firmament
Nintendo
in the
Ninja.
midst of the
Forever,
waters,
Nintendo's
In the midst of the
legal
waters.
has
and
been
it
known
divides
to
the
be
waters from the
less than
waters.
Shout out to
And
Raycon.
God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God
Nintendo
called the
Ninjas.
firmament heaven. The
Nintendo
evening and the
Ninjas.
morning were the second day. And God said,
Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land.
Did you know that
But for me,
Nintendo
they
was
definitely
actually
live up to
created
their
in
everyday name.
1889? That means they've been around since before the radio, plastic, and yes, sliced bread. But what exactly did they make before video games? Well, they jumped around between many products. At first, they made Hanafuda cards, a type of playing card that was allowed in Japan after gambling was banned in 1882. They also created many toys, including the Ultra Hand, the Ultra Machine, and the 10 Billion Barrel. While they were able to survive
the 10 Billion Barrel
a surprisingly long time, it wasn't until they started making arcade games.
Are they insane? They're playing baseball inside their house? Like, what if that ball, like, popped one of their heads?
In the 1970s that their brand really started to take off. But it sure is interesting to know how Nintendo got to where they are today. Fat Pikachu. Okay, Pikachu is still...
Yo, Fat Pikachu is the best Pikachu. This new Pikachu, talking about skinny body Pikachu, nah, bro. Where's my fat Pikachu?
Cute today, but come on. Look how chubby he used to be. Atsuko Nishida, the creator of Pikachu, said that when she was creating Pikachu, her inspiration was to create a mouse-like creature with no distinction between its head and its body.
Chubby
almost dumpling-shaped. And you can't tell me this Pikachu is dumpling-shaped. It's said
not.
that Pikachu was changed to be skinnier to make him easier to animate in the anime. But I can't help but feel that's just a cop-out. And honestly, I think the animators were just jealous of how cute he was. But this story does have a happy ending, because in Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pikachu's Gigantamax form looks awfully similar to the fat Pikachu of years past. So at least he's not forgotten. Super Mario Bros. 2. In 1986, Nintendo developed the sequel to Super Mario Bros., aptly named Super Mario Bros. 2. However, when the game was shown off to Nintendo of America, they believed the game was too hard for their player base. So Nintendo decided to adapt a Japanese exclusive game called Doki Doki Panic and reskin it with Mario characters. And its name was Super Mario Bros. 2.
No wonder I fucking hated this game. I never considered this as like a true Mario game. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Every time I played this game, I fucking hated it. I hated the music, the characters, the design, everything. And in my head, I was always like, bro, why do they go in this weird-ass design choice to make this game? And now it all makes sense. They literally reskinned another game. I never knew this. They reskinned this shitty shit. Bro, thank God. Now if anybody ever comes up to me talking about, oh, my favorite game is Super Mario Brothers 2, I'm gonna be like, yo, suck my dick. That game is fucking trash. It's a fucking reskin of another fucking game that nobody even remembers the title to that shit. Trash!
Nintendo decided to adapt a Japanese exclusive game called Doki Doki Panic and reskin it with Mario characters, and its name was Super Mario Bros. 2.
Trash!
This game is very different from any other Mario game, as for one, jumping on enemies doesn't kill them, and two, many of the enemies are one-offs you'll never see again.
Trash!
They're Doki Doki Panic characters. However, mainstays like Birdo and Shy Guy actually made their first appearance in this game. Eventually, North American audiences would get the original Super Mario Bros. 2 as the Lost Levels in Super Mario Bros.
Oh, this is Super Mario Brothers 2? This is the real Super Mario Bros. 2. So the other Super Mario Bros. 2 doesn't even matter. Now I could delete that game out my mind. Give me a sec. Oh shit, I'm deleting the wrong things. Fuck, childhood memories. Fuck! I deleted the wrong thing. I'm tweaking. I'm gonna delete that game off my head, bro. Fuck that shit.
And Japanese players would get the American Super Mario Bros. 2 as Super Mario Bros. USA. Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy wasn't just a failure. It is the...
Yo, it's the failure. This shit, I feel like, yo, somebody could have sued Nintendo for this. Like, this shit was destroying your eyes.
Failure. It's the only Nintendo console not to break 1 million sales. For many of you, you might not even remember that this thing exists because so little people owned one, and so few games were ever made for it, that it's honestly easier just pretending like it doesn't. Its awkward tabletop headset, headache-inducing red graphics, controller with 2 D-pads for particularly no reason, this just shows how sad this console truly was. Nintendo would eventually go back to 3D tech and...
You're not a real SMT fan if you didn't get Jack Brothers for Virtual Boy 2.
You're right, I'm not a real fan because I've never heard of Jack Bros for Virtual Boy. I never heard of that shit, so I am not a real fan. Also, Nintendo, yo, thank you for the biddies, Sora. Nintendo killed it with the 3DS. This shit, like I feel like this technology here is still insane. That they had a face tracking camera up here, and with the new 3DS XL, where like you could turn your head and you could still see it in 3D, that was amazing. That was amazing.
in the form of the 3DS and Labo VR, but none would be as humiliating as Nintendo's Virtual Boy. Nintendo Switch has games. Shocking, right? Part of the promotion for the Nintendo Switch at the Game Awards in 2019 included a trailer with the tagline, Nintendo Switch has games. The stupidity of such a tagline for a company that makes one product that does one thing was enough to set the world ablaze, with memes making a mockery of this trailer and going absolutely bananas reacting to the fact that the Switch has games. Totaka's song. Koizumi Totaka is a composer who's worked on songs for many Nintendo games throughout the years, starting with games like Mario Paint. In many of his
shout out to Totaka
games, you can find a sample melody that has become to be known Totaka's song. The song is often hidden in his games as sort of an Easter egg.
I love that
clicking
song.
on the O in the title screen of Mario Paint, you'll see an explosion followed by a famous 19-note melody. Some of the ways the song has appeared in games can be pretty creative. For instance, in Mario Kart 8, the Yoshis in Yoshi Valley can be heard humming the tune if you drive close enough to them. Overall, if you're playing a Nintendo game and you see Totaka's name listed in the credits, there's a good chance this song will make an appearance. You just have to look in the right place. Super Game Boy. The Super Game Boy was a device that allowed you to play Game Boy games on your TV through your Super Nintendo. It let you change the color palette of the games as well as the borders around the game. This device was also pretty cool because you could play—
I've never heard of this device, bro. The Super Game Boy? That looks cool as hell.
Game Boy games without actually ever owning a Game Boy. In addition to the Super Game Boy, a sequel called Super Game Boy 2 released exclusively in Japan, which had quicker loading times and this sick translucent casing. There was also a Game Boy player for the GameCube that allowed players to play—
That shit was trash. You know why this shit was trash? Because you needed the stupid ass disc. And guess what? GameCube discs were extremely scratchable. Like GameCube discs, you went like this to a GameCube disc, ha! That shit got 8 scratches on it for no reason. No reason that shit got scratches. It was ridiculous. So I had a Game Boy player as a kid. My CD got scratched up. Now I can no longer play GameCube, Game Boy Advance games, Game Boy Color games. They locked me out. I had the whole mechanism, but I couldn't play Game Boy games because the CD was scratched. Stupid.
GBA games on their GameCube.
Stupid.
Melee. Super Smash Bros. Melee came out in 2001, but despite this, it is still one of the most alive and thriving communities in gaming. Its quick movement and complicated mechanics are a result of the extremely short 13-month development cycle, which left the game with many quirks not found in any other edition of Smash. This makes it one of the most unique games in the series, as while some would see these oversights as flaws, the competitive scene sees them as necessities. While Sakurai and the team always saw Smash as first and foremost a party game, Melee shines through, no pun intended, with its community-backed tournaments and grassroots flair. Actually, that pun was totally intended. Not to mention all the crazy clips it's given us through the years. Miiverse. Miiverse was Nintendo's version of a social media platform. It was active from 2012 to 2017 and was used on both the Wii U and 3DS. Miiverse stood out with its unique hand-drawn—
Miiverse was so fucking soft, bro. I would love for them to bring it back, but they were so soft.
Posting features. It worked with many games in interesting ways, such as Super Mario 3D World with its stamps, Mario Maker's hint posts, and Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U's Miiverse stage. Moderation wasn't the best, but it was still a good time, and made that generation—
Moderation wasn't the best, bro. Moderation was up the ass. Up the ass. Like, bro, they were banning me off this shit for saying, like, simple things.
Of Nintendo consoles feel very community-driven and inviting. While Miiverse wasn't brought to the Switch, many games like Mario Maker 2 and Splatoon 2 and 3 have features reminiscent of this old platform.
Is that Scooby?
Nice. Nintendo World Championships. In 1990, Nintendo held a video game championship circuit touring around North America as a way to celebrate Nintendo's 100th anniversary. In the event, competitors competed on a special NES cartridge in a series of minigames based on Super Mario Bros., Rad Racer, and Tetris. While many of those cartridges were the normal gray color, 26 of them were made using the Legend of Zelda gold casing. Both the gray and gold cartridges have been known to go for exorbitant amounts of money and are some of the rarest Nintendo games in existence. Nintendo brought the championships back 2 more times, once in 2015 to commemorate its 25th anniversary and once more in 2017. March 31st, 2021, Super Mario 3D All-Stars was announced during the Super Mario 35th Anniversary Direct and went on to be released on September 18th, 2020. Alongside this announcement, it was revealed that the game would have a limited release and stop being sold on March 31st, 2021. Why? Well, it's rumored that this was a marketing tactic to create artificial scarcity, and it worked. I know so many people.
I agree. But you know what I also thought happened? You know what I also thought and felt what happened here? I felt like Nintendo during this time, they had a mindset of, hey, let's release a lot of the classic games as trilogies so then we could just make profit off the old games again. But then, this is what happened. They ended up realizing, after they already made this, like the Mario trilogy, after the Mario trilogy, I feel like they realized, wait a minute, we could make more money if we could just subscription service everybody. And that's why they were like, oh, yeah, this is coming out, but by the way, it's going to get discontinued real soon. So I feel like Nintendo was going to go that route because if you remember around this time, what other rumor was also there? Metroid Prime trilogy. Everybody kept on talking about the Metroid Prime trilogy being real. Then we had like very close news sources saying, yeah, the Metroid Prime trilogy fucking exists. I've seen it. I've played it. It exists, but Nintendo never released it. But then that's why I'm saying I feel like Nintendo was going to do something like that, but then they realized, yo, we could just put everything under a subscription service, make everybody spend more money on Nintendo Online, all that type of shit, lock everyone in to constantly pay every month to get access to these games so they can make more money. That's what I'm thinking happened. But let's continue.
People who bought the game both digitally and physically in fear of not being able to own the game in the future. I guess it's reasonable to attribute this limited run to the timely release during the anniversary, but in my opinion, this move was more shady and extremely anti-consumer. But you know, at least you can still play the game, unlike Super Mario Bros. 35. That game literally—
Yo, 35 was so fun for what it was. Even though I didn't even play it that much, this was super fun.
Is unplayable now. Mother 3. Mother 3, as you can expect, is the third entry in the Mother series. However, it was never—
You know what's funny about Mother 3? I played a little bit of the beginning of the game when I had my my Galaxy Note 4 emulated. I was emulating it. I played a tiny bit of it. It was actually not that bad. It was real nice.
Actually released outside of Japan. See, the Mother series has always had a bit of a weird relationship with international releases. The original Mother never made it to the NES, and was only ever localized in 2015 under the moniker Earthbound Beginnings on the Wii U Virtual Console. Mother 2 was ported to the SNES as Earthbound. And then there's Mother 3. Mother 3 was a GBA title and was just never localized for an international audience. There's no real reason or rhyme to this, but Nintendo just doesn't seem to want to give it to us.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Fuck Nintendo, bro. You could go on Etsy and then just type down Mother 3 and somebody's gonna probably have like a nice little video game cartridge with the cartridge looking nice with the actual game inside of it and the translations. You know what? Let me actually go search that shit up right now. Fuck Nintendo. Get that shit on Etsy. Mother 3. Bro, if anything on Etsy, bro, they even got custom made Game Boy Advances and shit with Mother. Bro. Look at this shit, bro. Bro. Yup. Look how nice this is. I just saw this right now on Etsy. Look at that. Look at that, bro. They got the Ruby and Sapphire cartridge, so it's in a nice translucent red cartridge. Mother 3. Just go on Etsy, bro. I think I saw it for like, hold on. How much money is it on Etsy? Mother 3 English translation reproduction GBA Game Boy Advance. Shit got 5 out of 5 star reviews. Multiple people are saying this cartridge is brilliant. So surreal to see such a pristine Game Boy Advance cart. Even more surreal to see a copy of Mother 3 and to know that I can play it on an actual physical hardware. $13! It's fucking 13 bucks. It's $13. You said free shipping? Let me check. It's shipping from, I think, when Tumpka, what is that, Atlantic? AL? Is that Atlanta? I could send y'all the link to it. This is what I'm looking at here. That's what I'm looking at right now. The Etsy thing, if you guys wanted to take a look at it yourself, that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, man, look, 13 bucks. All the reviews are just praising this thing. All the reviews are like, bro, this is amazing. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Waiting for Nintendo to come out with something, bro, they're never going to come out with that shit. So just get it yourself.
It's become somewhat of a meme among Nintendo fans, with even Nintendo poking fun at it in their 2014 E3 presentation.
Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3!
How about this instead?
Nintendo's refusal to give fans what they want is nothing new, and Mother 3 is the epitome of this frustration. However, an official English fan translation is available online if you know where to look. Flappy Bird pipes. Flappy Bird might be one of the most legendary and mysterious games of the modern era. Whether it be the discussions on why the creator took it off the App Store, phones who still had the game going for an insane amount of money.
That guy was an idiot. I don't care what anybody says. That guy was a bona fide pepega. Why in the flying fuck would you take that game off the App Store? He was making bank off of it, and I think he took it down for some dumbass reason. He was like, ah, man, it's consuming people's lives. Does it look like I give a fuck? I'm rich, bitch. I don't care. Keep playing my game. Make me more money. Like, why the hell would you take that down?
Money on eBay, or how such a rage-inducing game took a chokehold on iPhone users in 2013. However, part of its mystique was its correlation with Mario. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell that these pipes look identical to the ones found in Mario games. A popular video on YouTube supposedly showing what happens at the end of the game included piranha plants and Mario himself. While it turned out to be a hoax, the pipes itself surely added to the game's mythos and led to many theories that have made this game the legend.
Bullshit.
N64 DD. At the time, the N64 was starting to make the Nintendo brand dated. The Sony's PlayStation with its disc-based games were starting to take the lead in the industry. Nintendo's solution was the N64 DD. The N64 DD was a disk drive peripheral for the N64 that allowed players to enhance their gaming experience. It was the first Nintendo device that could connect to the internet and allowed for rewritable storage on disk of games. However, development for the announced games slowly either got cancelled or pushed to cartridges. The N64 DD was also quietly released with little promotion in Japan, and was soon forgotten about. Only 10 games were ever made for it, and just about 15,000 units were ever sold, making it one of the biggest commercial failures in Nintendo's history. Skyward Sword E3 demo. At E3 2011, while showcasing Skyward Sword's motion controls, Murphy's Law took effect, as the entire segment was a disaster. The motion controls simply didn't work, leaving Miyamoto flailing his arms around with the Wiimote and Nunchuck, as Link failed to take in his inputs.
Damn.
In retrospect, whether they were standing...
Nah, but you can imagine it's because of the lighting, because it's like, there's a lot of lights hitting you, right? So think about it like, off your Wii controller, you have to have like access to the sensor bar and shit. So all them lights hitting you and he's trying to swing and the controller probably like the controller acting like it got hit with a flashbang. It's like, what the fuck? There's lights everywhere. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. So Miyamoto probably was looking goofy.
Too far away from the motion bar or something else, clearly something was wrong with the setup itself. After all, while Skyward Sword wasn't perfect with its motion controls, it wasn't nearly that unreceptive. That
it's not rolling.
This blooper continued for 6 minutes, making it one of the most infamous awkward moments in E3 history.
Oh my god, 6 minutes of that? Oh.
And also led people to believe that this was the reason that Nintendo moved away from live presentations.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, damn. That went on for 6 minutes? I'm getting secondhand embarrassment over something that happened years ago. Jesus Christ, I'm just like thinking about it. Like, I can imagine in Miyamoto's head, he's like, man, what the fuck? This shit ain't working right here. And then his translator's right next to him like, bro, what the fuck is happening? The ball is not rolling. It's not doing what you're telling it to. Oh my God. Hell no, it's too much. Too much.
SiIvaGunner. In 2008, a YouTube channel...
Man, fuck SiIvaGunner! You said the crazy thing is what?
The crazy thing is, when Wind Waker was coming out and they were doing a presentation of it, there was a bug and an item Link needed to pass an obstacle disappeared, so they couldn't progress at all.
No way. Really? Yeah, so that's why Nintendo definitely was like, yo, fuck the presentations. You said hop off a SiIvaGunner? I don't know, man. Me and him, he don't even know who I am, but I know who he is. He's my rival. But he has no idea who I am. Let's go.
SiIvaGunner started posting songs from video games to their channel so that others could listen to them. And sadly, this channel ended up being terminated due to copyright. To pay homage to the original channel, another channel called SiIvaGunner was created, and it continued to upload video game music. But then, yet another channel popped up called SiIvaGunner. The second I in the name was capitalized, as the channel is supposed to give the illusion that it is actually SiIvaGunner. Instead of legitimate songs from video games, the channel uploaded parodies of the songs by combining them with memes and pop culture references in order to create what they refer to as high-quality rips. For instance, if you wanted to listen to the athletic theme from Super Mario World, you'd expect to hear this. But instead, you would be listening to something like this. This channel also ended up being terminated because it was deemed
That's why I hate SiIvaGunner. Right there, that was it. You saw the anger in my face? That's the reason! But then somebody in the chat's gonna be like, but that's not SiIvaGunner though. Whoever the fuck that was. Gunna Silver. Bro, I wanna hear the song that I'm trying to hear, and then they fucking put Mariah Carey randomly. Dun, 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 dun. And then it just goes to, all I want is Christmas. All I want for Christmas is you. Fuck.
Misleading. However, another
I don't want to hear other songs when I want to hear the song that I want to hear.
It was later created with the same premise called SiIvaGunner, and
no wonder I hate him. How many SiIvaGunners are there? That's why I hate him. I don't even know who is who anymore. There's like 8 of him. There's like 8 of this motherfucker. That's why I think I hate him.
We've come full circle. The SiIvaGunner channel is still incredibly active today, and while the songs can
who is who?
Easily brushed off as memes, many of them are actually pretty good rips.
You said pay attention next time? No. He's using the same name style, SiIvaGunner, SiIvaGunner, and then he's using the same profile picture. I'm gonna get bamboozled. Come on, man.
Listen. Super Mario 128. Super Mario 128 was a tech
I'm gonna get bamboozled
during the Space World event in 2000 in anticipation of the upcoming release of Nintendo's next console, the GameCube. The demo showcased the GameCube's power through how up to 128 Marios could be displayed on screen as they interacted with a large, constantly changing landscape. The game ultimately never released as it was merely a tech demo, but elements from the game made their way into future titles such as Pikmin and Super Mario Galaxy. Today, people will jokingly reference the game as though it's an upcoming sequel to Super Mario 64 due to its namesake, but the game is realistically never making an official release. MissingNo. In the 1998 North American and European versions of Pokemon Red and Blue, a glitched Pokemon was discovered called MissingNo. MissingNo could be encountered by doing a series of convoluted tasks that would trick the game into triggering an encounter with a Pokemon with an invalid identifier, therefore encountering MissingNo. MissingNo could be captured and even had a hybrid bird/normal typing, which is weird because bird types don't exist. While the thought alone of a mysterious glitched Pokemon is cool.
He had his type was bird, and bird doesn't exist. So it's just like, wait, what? Wait, what is your typing? Bird.
In and of itself. It was also used to cause a duplication glitch in which the 6th item in your inventory would increase all the way up to 128. It was discovered in the May 1999 Nintendo Power magazine, and has since become one of, if not the most fascinating glitches in gaming history. Nintendo fat-shamed people on Wii Fit. During the Wii era, some of Nintendo's games were certainly unconventional, and Wii Fit was no exception. It was an early attempt at combining both gaming and fitness, and because of that, some of the decisions behind the game may seem questionable looking back. One of the game's features allowed users to weigh themselves, and based on the user's height and weight, it would display their BMI. Depending on their BMI range, the game would play a different jingle. The default jingle sounded like this.
So how does it sound like if you're fat? That shit was like, bah, 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 bah. Like some fucking Banjo-Kazooie ass. What the fuck?
And the pitch would become higher or lower if the user was underweight or overweight. The obese jingle, labeled veryfat.mp4 in the game's files, sounded like this.
Damn, bro! Yo, that song is like the epitome of, like, just shrugging. Dun, 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 dun. Like, you a fat piece of shit.
Was underweight or overweight. The obese jingle, labeled veryfat.mp4 in the game's files, sounded like this. Having the sound play paired with the
piece of shit.
turning into the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, yeah, it's pretty funny in retrospect. To be fair, the game is centered around fit.
Bro, but why are people offended by that? If you're fucking fat, you're fucking fat. That's it. That's not even fat shaming. It's the game stating facts. Like, if my ass got on that thing and they were to tell me, yo, Retro, you this, I'm not gonna be mad at it. It's the truth. Ritz EXP
2.
Yo, thank you for the prime, baby. Yo.
And Nintendo were justified in fat shaming those sensitive fat.
Yo, look, here's my thing, right? Be happy that even the fat people got a cool jingle. You know, like, yeah, at least got a jingle. But it's like, if the game is weighing you, like, the point of the game is to motivate you to exercise. Like, that's the point of the game. It's like, what do you want the Wii game to say? Oh, damn, you're 400 pounds. You on some Boogie 2988 shit. You want the game to, like, applaud you for it? Good job, man. Good job, man. Yo, your arteries are clogged? Yo. Hey, man, like, what do you want the game to do? The game is trying to help you and improve your health so you can lose weight and you can live a longer life. Come on, man.
Fitness, and I don't think Nintendo's genuine intent was to shame users.
It wasn't. It wasn't the intent. The intent was to, hey, weigh yourself. Hey, man, you might be a little bit on the bigger side, but don't worry. You got Wii Fit, and we're here to help you and help you get healthy. That's the point of the game. You said, I don't know about being neutral, about being called fat exactly isn't the nice way to tell someone that they're overweight. But it's like, do you want the truth or do you want the sugarcoat? It's like, that's what it is. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's just me. I'm the type of person, like, I like to hear shit straight up. Like, if somebody be like, yo, Retro, you smell like butt cheeks. I'll be like, damn, I do stink. I better go take a shower. Like, be straight up with me. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't be like, hey, man, you might be a little bit bigger. Like, what does a little bit bigger mean? Like, am I fat? Am I not? Like, be straight up. Exactly. The truth hurts, but I would rather hear the truth than somebody just lie to my ass. Hey, Retro, man, you not fat. And I'm huge as shit. And I'm like, like I'm one of those mouth breathers. And I'm like, hey, man, don't call me fat, but I'm out here like, be like Dorothy. Yes, that's why I like Dorothy. I hate and like Dorothy at the same time. Because Dorothy, she's straight up. Dorothy, she talks shit, but I appreciate her for being straight up and not lying to me. You said I would have lied to your ass, but I sure eat it. Oh my Lord, Sir Lux, you're scaring me. You are scaring me.
The goal was simply to translate a fitness routine into a game, using sound effects as you would expect to see in any other game. The fact that Nintendo's President of America willingly demoed this portion of the game in front of an audience kind of exemplifies this. Backwards long jump. Super Mario 64 has one of the most iconic and most broken exploits in any video game. Because the game has no backwards speed limit when performing a long jump, players can break the game through spamming backwards long jumps.
Sorry, random question. So is that why ultimately Wii Fit didn't continue? Was it because people got sensitive, or was it just because the game didn't sell enough? Because then I wouldn't even know 100%, because I've never looked at like Wii Fit sales. I hope that's not like the core reason. Yeah, it was low sales. All right, that makes sense.
Allowing them to glitch through walls and reach areas that they aren't supposed to. Using this exploit, speedrunners have been able to beat the game way faster than intended, with some runs collecting 0 stars. Nintendo is definitely aware of this glitch, because they cut it from a Japanese re-release of the game in 1997. And this is the version that was used in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, so sadly, the game isn't much use to speedrunners. Satoru Iwata Bananas. During Nintendo's E3 showcase in 2012, I didn't even know that. Iwata made a cameo in a pre-recorded clip where he is mysteriously holding a bunch of bananas. The oddest thing about this is that nobody really knows why he did this, as it wasn't really relevant to anything Nintendo announced during the event.
Bro, he looked like, the way he was just standing there holding the bananas, it looked like somebody told him to be there. Like, yo, Iwata, can you stand right there real quick? And he's like, Yeah, and just hold a banana and just stare at it and then look at us. Like, that's what it looked like.
Some people speculate that he was hinting at Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but that game wasn't even revealed until the next year. Ultimately, it's just bizarre and something we'll probably never fully understand. Game Boy Video. In 2004, the Game Boy Advance Video
man,
series
I wanted this so bad as a kid.
It was a line of Game Boy cartridges that allowed you to watch films
I wanted this so bad. I never got it, but I've seen it through the Game Boy and it's nice.
The only movies that ever released for the platform were Shrek, Shrek 2, and Shark Tale, which is definitely a small selection. As for the shows, they were essentially just demos of TV series for kids, like Pokemon or
all
the
grown up
Parents.
Rugrats?
The cartridge would typically contain only a few episodes of a show and would retail for $20, which seems pretty steep looking back. It really feels like these were just a way to introduce these shows to kids, as you wouldn't realistically own an entire season of a show on these cartridges. However, just about every kid that had a GBA owned at least one of these, whether it was SpongeBob or Kim Possible or whatever. It was sort of a novelty to have a portable version of something you could only watch on the TV usually, so I understand the appeal for the time being. Super Mario Bros. Super Show. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show was an animated series that ran in 1989 and was produced by Deke Enterprises. It's based off Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2, taking elements and characters from both. Probably the strangest thing about this show was the live action segments that would play before and after each episode featuring the real Mario
Brothers.
The most iconic thing to come from this show is definitely its intro theme song, which plays to the tune of a remix version of World 1-1. This song was actually used in the Super Mario Bros. Movie in the segment where the plumbers produced their ad campaign for TV. Deke Entertainment went on to also produce 2 more Mario series, including The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, which came out the same years that those games launched in the West. Funnily enough, the Super Mario Bros. 3 series began production before the Koopalings even had names, so they took matters into their own hands and just made up names for the characters. For instance, Wendy O. Koopa is referred to as Cutie Pie in the series.
Cutie Pie?
I remember seeing old episodes from these shows as a kid and being really confused because of that. But then again, I also didn't understand why Peach was Princess Toadstool and Bowser was King Koopa either. Honestly, it's a bit wild that these shows were even produced in the first place, but considering they're clearly made for kids, they're not too bad and could have been a lot worse. Satellaview. Exclusive to the Super Famicom in Japan, the Satellaview was an add-on that would let players download software using satellite broadcast. It's basically Nintendo's first eShop, but many people have never even heard.
Look, Japan was so ahead of their time that they already was like doing eShop shit back in the day. Like, this is so far back in time, and they were already doing shit off the satellite, like internet stuff.
Heard of it since it was never released in the West and was also fairly expensive, retailing for more than the SNES itself. Many of the games offered through this service were exclusives, including a 16-bit version of the original Legend of Zelda titled BS Zelda no Densetsu. The service was ultimately discontinued in 2000, and because of this, several of the Satellaview games have been lost to time and may never be playable again. Year of Luigi. Since its launch, the Wii U was a massive failure and had continued to underperform.
Yo, was that the year of Luigi, the Wii U? Damn, isn't that ironic? And then his name starts with Luigi, L. Year of the L.
In 2013, Nintendo came up with a campaign that would fix all of their problems. The Year of Luigi.
The Year of L.
The 30th anniversary of Luigi's first appearance in the Mario Bros. Arcade game. Thus, the Luigi games began to pour in. Luigi U, Luigi Mansion, Dr. Luigi, Mario and Luigi. It truly was the Year of Luigi. It also was a year where Nintendo lost $457 million, and because of that, we're probably never getting a Year of Luigi again. Now, was Luigi actually the culprit? Was his year genuinely the cause of the $500 million loss? I mean, it probably didn't help, but realistically, it was simply due to the Wii U and its horrible marketing. However, the idea that Luigi caused all of Nintendo's financial troubles that year has continued to spread throughout the internet, mostly as a running joke. CDI games. Nintendo had once intended to make a CD-ROM add-on for the SNES, and they originally planned to partner with Sony and ended up deciding to partner with Philips instead. After
Come on, Nintendo, how y'all make that mistake?
Sega ended up releasing a similar product that failed miserably. Nintendo went it out. In order to break their agreement with Philips, Nintendo allowed them to create their own licensed Nintendo games using their characters. So on their own console, the Philips CDI, they ended up making games like Hotel Mario and the Zelda Trilogy. Were these games any good? No, they're renowned for being absolutely terrible. Nintendo probably didn't regret pulling out of the agreement because of this. When it comes to Sony though, they decided to make their own console in response, the PlayStation, which ended up being pretty devastating to Nintendo in the long run. The L on Luigi.
Yo, so I didn't even know that fact. So you're telling me that there could have been a Sony Nintendo collaboration, but Nintendo turned them down.
Why Retro is a Sony addict.
Bro, that was a fat L on Nintendo's part. How did they fumble that? They really turned down Sony back in the day. Yo, and then like think about it. Right now in the future, it would have been like some crazy shit now. It would have been like a Sony Nintendo hybrid happening today probably. You 100% knew that fact? I didn't. I'm gonna be honest, I did not. We just watched it right now. I did not know this.
Luigi's hat is backwards. This is the box art to Mario Kart Double Dash for the Nintendo
Wait, whose hat?
And if you have a keen eye, you may notice that Nintendo made a bit of an oopsie. The L on Luigi's hat is backwards.
Oh,
there is
shut
a
up, man.
It's
It's
a Nintendo
unnoticeable.
PlayStation out there somewhere and only one exists.
Damn. We never gonna find that shit. You said don't forget to drink water? Shit.
Some people speculate that this is some sort of obscure
Thank you,
reference
Gran, for the
to
biddies.
mirror mode, but realistically, somebody flipped this render when making the box art to make it fit better and didn't notice the error. I mean, the L is barely even visible with
That's
Luigi.
what I'm saying. For you to actually like zoom in that hard into Luigi's hat and then be like, wait a minute, the L's backwards. I'm like, are you seriously?
His head so far to the right. This is one of those Nintendo facts that most people are unfamiliar with, but for those in the Nintendo community, it's become a randomly commonly known fact. Just the phrase the L on Luigi's hat is backwards is basically an if you know type of thing.
Oh, now I know.
There are many glitches in the original Super Mario Bros, but one of the most infamous is Minus World. Minus World is a glitch level that is identical to World 7-2, but it is impossible to beat as the warp pipe at the end of the level takes you back to the beginning rather than the flagpole. It's called Minus World because it is written out as blank-1, but in reality it's actually 36-1. Since the game can't display the number 36, it just leaves it blank, giving the name of the level -1. The reason this happens is because when you enter the warp pipe to the Minus World, the game is actually loading the warp zone from 4-2, in which there is only one pipe that led you to World 5. Since there was only one pipe in that warp zone, the pipes on the left and right lead you to the Minus World. In reality, there are many glitchy Minus World levels in the game, but because of how accessible this level is, it became the legend it is today. PikaBlue. In the late 90s, Pokemon Red and Blue were the talk of the town, yet if you were a kid who had successfully caught all 151 Kanto Pokemon, you probably were left wanting more. Before the release of Pokemon Gold and Silver though, fans got a taste of what new Pokemon could look like as promotional material slowly continued to drizzle out. In the 1990s...
Man, I used to love these commercials. These old Pokemon commercials were like so peak, man.
Short Pikachu's Vacation, a few brand new Pokemon were featured, including Meryl, who was not given a name at the time. Fans could only speculate what this new Pokemon could be, and because of its mouse-like features, many believed that it was related to Pikachu, whether it was a new evolution or something else. Thus, it was given the nickname...
Yo, Pokemon fans, till the end of time, will always do that shit. Anytime they see a Pokemon that looks even remotely similar, even tiny, similar to Pikachu, they're instantly thinking, hey! This is gonna be the mascot replacement right here. He replacing Pikachu. Yo, nobody replacing Pikachu. No one.
PikaBlue, basically a blue version of Pikachu. In the end, it turned out to just be Meryl. It's
just a Meryl
type Pokemon. However, it really just goes to show what a different era it was back then. Because the internet was still in its early days, speculation could run rampant, as information was not always so readily available at the time. Fat DS. Okay, I want you to do something really quick. Close your eyes and picture the Nintendo DS. Alright,
yes.
Now did it look like this, or something more like this? The Fat DS is the nickname...
Bitch, you made me close my eyes and then you kept showing shit.
Nintendo DS. Alright, now did it look like this?
No, it looked like this. That's how my fat DS looked. That's the fat DS.
This, or something more like...
That's probably like a little Jimmy that was born a little bit later on, right? Gen Z, probably. But that's the fat one.
The Fat DS is the nickname for the first DS that Nintendo ever released. However, it's weirdly become one of the most forgettable models despite being the default version of the DS.
Because it never came out.
The way the system looks, it's just clunky and a bit overwhelming.
It never came out though.
When the DS Lite came out, it was smoother, sleeker, and just more aesthetically pleasing overall. And after it was released,
it did?
It was almost...
The one with the black? The part with the black stomach?
Your eyes and picture the nickname despite
that one?
DS...
I never seen this one. Your nephew had this one? Like that looked like this? I've never seen that one in stores ever. I never seen it. I never seen it.
However, it's weirdly become one of the most forgettable models despite being the default version.
It's 100% the most forgettable model because I've never seen this shit. Like in the wild in New York, I've never seen anybody with this. And mind you, I went to public school. Public school, Kids had Game Boys. Kids was robbing other kids of their Game Boys. I've never seen this shit.
Of the DS.
Never seen
Something about the way the system looks, it's just clunky and a bit overwhelming. When the DS Lite came out, it was smoother, sleeker, and just more aesthetically pleasing overall. And after it was released, it
that's
was
a prototype. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the prototype. I don't think that, like, the official release was the original fat gray one.
Use the original DS anymore. Despite playing the same games, it felt like if you ever just saw someone playing the DS in public, it was almost always a DS Lite or DSi. Maybe fat DS users were shamed out of existence, but I'm interested in hearing what you guys think about this. Also, comment down below if you thought of the original DS or a later variant in my little experiment earlier. Wii Sports Club. Wii Sports Club is easily the most forgettable game in the Nintendo Sports series. Nintendo had originally shown off elements of the game all the way back in 2011 when they showed off the Wii U at E3.
I think I remember this.
Remote could interact with the gamepad to make the gameplay feel more immersive. However, the game didn't release until almost a year after the Wii U did. The strangest thing about this game is how Nintendo released it. They made each individual sports title available on the eShop and released them months apart. Nintendo took one of the things that made the Wii so popular.
So they weren't even ready. This game wasn't even done or ready. They released this shit early with one mode in it, and then over time they started adding other. That's crazy.
A game that perfectly showcased the features of the console that was also included with it and turned it into something that was tedious to even purchase. It's just yet another weird marketing decision that makes it easy to understand why the Wii U flopped as hard as it did. The Wizard. The Wizard is a film that released in 1989 which follows the life of a kid who enters a large video game tournament. It's best known for its partnership with Nintendo, which led to the film featuring references to Nintendo products such as the NES Power Glove. At the tournament, the big game that the kids compete in ends up being Super Mario Bros. 3. Not only was this game not even released at the time, but this was the first time the West was even exposed to it. The movie was largely written off as a cash grab, basically just another way to promote Nintendo's game.
What? So they just had a random stray movie with a new Mario Brothers game in it, and then they just kind of like, the movie didn't even take off, or like people even talked about it. What?
But nowadays, the inclusion of Nintendo games is just about all the film is known for. Amiibo shortages. As Toys to Life was becoming a popular feature in...
Yo, I remember this, man. Yo, in the beginning, this shit was just so bad. Like, these motherfuckers was weird. Like they were like legit hoarding Amiibos and trying to sell them. Bro, there's still a spot in Manhattan in 34th Street. These motherfuckers are selling Amiibos in there for like $500. They're bugging.
Gaming, Nintendo took their own swing at the idea by introducing Amiibo. The cool thing about Amiibo is that one toy would have functionality across several different games, making them more valuable. However, the toy's value mainly came from collectors who proudly displayed their collection of toys on their shelves, never...
Just like that, never opens them. You know what I did to all my shits, chat? I don't give a flying fuck. I opened them. I opened them all up. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I opened them all up. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Monster Hunter shits, yup. Oh shit. Who else? Who else, bruh? We got Shulk. Now is roaring time, bro. I'm opening all these shits. I don't care. I'm opening them all up. Like, what's the point of buying something and then not even opening them? Then somebody gonna be like, collectors. Are you ever gonna sell them? No, right? You're not gonna sell them. So then what's the point? You might as well just open them and enjoy them. Why am I not in focus? I'm fuzzy as shit. There we go. Let's go.
Never actually using them in the games. Because of this, Nintendo underestimated the demand for Amiibo at launch, and figures like Wii Fit Trainer and Marth were almost impossible to find.
I remember skipping school days just to wait in line at Target, Best Buy and Toys R Us just for these fucking things. Nowadays, I buy them and I keep them in the box.
I can't keep them in the box. It takes too much space. Like, my sister was trying to do that. There was a point where my sister was trying to do that, and it was bad. Like, we had so much Amiibos in their box to the point where we're like, where do we put all of them? Then we try to, like, hang them on the wall, and then we were just like, bro, this shit looks stupid as fuck. Then, like, one day my sister was just, like, undecided to like, what to do with them, right? Luxray. For, like, 2-3 years, she's just like, I don't know what to do with all these Amiibos. I was like, fuck you. I took all the Amiibos and I started opening them, all of them. I opened them all up, and I just started putting them around, like, my room and shit. And I was like, fuck you. I'm taking all the Amiibos, I'm opening them all up, and I'm putting them around. I don't care. This shit is stupid. Keeping them in these big-ass boxes.
the start, as these are characters that you wouldn't typically expect to get their own figurines.
I opened them all up.
I got to experience the Amiibo craze firsthand. As a kid, I had my dad take me to the store to pick up Splatoon at launch. And
I still got the Splatoon Amiibos.
A new wave of Amiibo was also releasing.
I gotta get the new ones though, the new Splatoon ones.
Eagerly awaiting to purchase the new line of toys. Within minutes, almost all the Amiibo were gone.
Quick question, chat. You know the Amiibos? The newest ones that came out in Splatoon? Do they unlock like specific poses as well? Because I got all the clothes for them. But then I thought about it. Do they come with poses? Somebody said, yeah. Heaven Shabbat, they do? Or do they not? It doesn't, right? It's just clothes. Only clothing, no poses? All right, thank you. I just needed to make sure.
Theories that Nintendo intentionally understocked Amiibo in order to drive up hype around them. To be fair, I think that Nintendo probably didn't anticipate that there would be a high demand for characters like Robin or Shulk, but I understand.
No. Stop saying that Nintendo doesn't know. They know. At this point, they know. And then you know what's stupid? Because they're still gonna make stupid decisions like that in the future whenever they release shit. They're gonna release like, oh, you know what? We're gonna come out with the Splatoon. You know the new Splatoon Amiibos that's coming out that's not out yet? The one Big Man, Fry, and Shiver? Watch. Each target gonna get like 4 copies of them shits. All the scalpers are gonna have them. Then they're gonna resell them for like quadruple the price. Nintendo knows that there's scalpers out there. Just make a lot of them, but they're not gonna do that.
Why people believe this, especially because Nintendo started to release store-exclusive Amiibo like the infamous Golden Mario. Muppet E3. Since 2013, all of Nintendo's E3 presentations have been hosted via Nintendo Directs instead of a traditional format. In the early years, Nintendo's E3 Directs were certainly creative. In 2015, Nintendo had the Jim Henson Company,
oh my god, I remember,
make puppet versions of some of their representatives, including Reggie, Miyamoto, and Iwata. It was just—
I fucking hate the way puppets move, bro. Why do the puppets move like that? This is how puppets move. Oh! I just want to punch somebody, bro. Bro! Fucking puppet! The puppet movement!
Make puppet versions of some of their representatives, including Reggie, Miyamoto, and Iwata. It was just an eccentric inclusion to make Nintendo's presentation stand out from the rest, and it was also used as a bit to promote the upcoming Star Fox Zero, as the puppets—
Yo, that Star Fox game was ass. Star Fox Zero? I think I remember like once going to Nintendo World to play that game, and yo, I tried the demo and I was like, I ain't buying this shit. That shit was ass. They fucked up Star Fox so bad.
Later begin to turn into characters from the Star Fox series.
It was bad.
Many people speculate that this was also used as a way to allow Iwata to be part of the Direct, as he was ill at the time and passed away just a month later. These segments definitely spiced up the presentation, and you can tell they had a lot of fun with them. There's a scene where the group spots a superstar and abruptly begins to dance, and there's another one that just features the puppet
banana
of Iwata holding a bunch of bananas.
The banana again!
Camera, a niche reference to E3 2011.
Nah.
Triforce shirt with cargo shorts. For whatever reason, the green Triforce shirt paired with cargo shorts has become known as the outfit of gamers. My theory is that the Triforce logo is subtle enough that it's a way for gamers to communicate something along the lines of, I am a gamer, are you? As for the cargo shorts, the large overbearing pockets are how Zelda fans connect to their favorite hero. Just as Link, they too can carry an ungodly, nonsensical amount of items in their pockets. For real though, the outfit has become a popular reference among fans, with one Twitter user tweeting, Breath of the Wild 2 should have a pre-order bonus in the form of a unique armor set, and it's just Link wearing this, followed by a picture of the iconic outfit.
No way, I didn't even know about that. Oh, nah, chat, we're done. Yo, we watched way more than I thought we were gonna do. Bro, I gotta end stream, it's 11 o'clock. This was supposed to be a short stream. Chat,